Hi, everybody. I was really getting into that countdown music.
I know, it's like every time something new happens and I'm like, ooh, gotta get used to this. I love
That was
it.
intense. It was like made me a little bit nervous in the end, but is anyone watching? Maybe. Welcome to Dishes and Dimes, another Dishes and Dimes Soup Talks live.
I know,
First
got
time
me.
show. Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh no, our internet connections. We always like to get the technical difficulties out of the way at the beginning of the show. Oh, you're back, Nor. I think you're back. Geez, this is tough. Nor's frozen. I'm alone. Yasmin and Sandy will be joining us soon at some point. We got a whole rundown, mostly final stuff to talk about this episode. And oh, she's back. Thank God.
Never, not gonna let this happen again. I swear to God, I'm gonna fight my internet.
I was like, what will I do now to do
Kitty's
the show
like,
alone?
we went from 4 to 2 to 1.
Yeah, this seems fine. Welcome back, Nora. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? How's your day?
Good.
How's your weekend?
Can't complain. Good day so far. I was hitting up the Pottery Studio early this morning.
I have to make a purchase. I know what purchase I need to make because I have it figured out where I want it placed.
Okay.
But I just need to make that purchase with my mom because I'm waiting to see like which one she wants. Because guys, check out Katie's vases. Her Instagram page is Weird Vessels, I believe.
Yeah.
And she makes the most beautiful pottery. Like it's out of this world. It's out of this world. It's local. It's handmade, and it's just amazing. Like it's that crucial piece that you need in your home. I'm sorry, she hasn't even plugged me to do this. I look at it and I'm just like, it's amazing.
Better marketing than I ever could have done. That's for sure. Thank you very much. Hi, Yasmin.
Can she hear us?
Oh, can she hear us? Probably not.
Sorry, I'm just trying to fix my earbuds.
This is a real, truly live show. I hope everybody realizes that, we're like gritty, real, troubleshooting in real time, technical difficulties. It doesn't matter.
We never learn.
No, we never learn, and we never choose to. We like to keep it real. Keep it really, really real.
Is Yas frozen? No, she's there. We're good.
She's half here. Yasmin, can you hear us? I don't think so.
Just once, I just want the internet to be on our side, the technology to be on our side, the world to be on our side, but no.
I mean, this is why we're so resilient and funny and off the cuff and stuff like this, We know how to make it work.
It's given us the insight that we never thought we would need. Look at us now.
Well, I guess we could start talking about basketball. That's what I don't know how many people are watching, but I hope that 4 people that are still watching, that's probably what they want to hear us talk about. So it's weird. I don't know about you guys, but I find it's like not Raptors aren't in it, so I find like rhythm is extremely strange for me of like the finals. And just because like we went from games all the time. I mean, I know this is how it literally works, but like going from games all the time to this, reminding myself like what time games are on. We lost Yasmin. She'll be back. But it's just felt like I'm like half in, half out of the finals. I don't know. How do you feel, Nora?
Oh, I don't think I've watched this. Probably I shouldn't admit to this, but I don't think I've watched one full game of the finals so far.
I mean, you're watching enough that you've got an opinion.
Yeah, I guess so. And you know what? Like whenever you scroll the timeline, like you get the gist of what's going on too. But I just never thought that it would be the Heat in the finals. Like as I respect to them, respect to Jimmy Butler, as great of a team as they are. Like I'm so glad that they are there, next to anyone else in the East probably, but I just never thought they would make it there. And I think the injuries of Dragic especially, and then Bam having to come back and having to find his rhythm, it's just not fair up against the team with the Lakers that's led by LeBron James and AD. And it just like, you just have to respect LeBron's greatness because you literally get bored. You're just bored of his greatness. You're like, just take the chip, go home, beat Bronny's ass, and come back next season. Like, leave us alone. Like, stop with your reign.
I'm nervous for Bronny. It was his birthday yesterday, which is also how I knew. I was like, I think they're going to take this game, you know?
Yeah, for Bronny. He's going to...
For Bronny to accelerate LeBron being able to go home a little quicker and talk to him about his extracurricular exploits.
Yeah. He's got 2 gifts for Bronny.
Oh no.
We just don't know what the other one is.
Oh no. I mean, no, you make a really good point. It's like I was so happy. I am still so happy for the Heat. Like, I don't think it's diminished them. I think they could still take a game, potentially, but it like last night felt like kind of like getting over the hill, and now there seems like to be maybe an inevitability of like the Lakers just kind of wrapping this up. I really hope that's not the case. I think Miami's like full of fighters. I think Bam being back, I'm so happy Bam is back. Like, I know he didn't get a ton of minutes, and I was really nervous like Dwight Howard was just gonna body him and like re-injure his like shoulder/neck, because it seems to have the injury is changed a little bit. So I thought that was going to happen, and he was just going to be like back to square one. But it made me so happy to just like see him in the game.
He's a really fun person to cheer for. Like, it's really easy to cheer for him, and he's 23 years old.
I know.
23. Yeah. Like, this is what you look like at 23. Like, I don't want to see you in a couple years. He's going to be Dwight Howard, but just on steroids, Dwight Howard. Like, imagine Dwight Howard, but Dwight Howarded. That's like, going to be him later on.
Than Dwight Howard. Maybe a little less evil. I feel like Dwight Howard is kind of evil. Bam's like, I think there was a moment, whether it was Dwight Howard or Markieff Morris, was like kind of getting chippy, and then like I think it was Jay Crowder was like someone was getting chippy with him, and like Bam stepped in like between them and LeBron and was just like, please stop, don't. Like, just like,
respectfully.
Yeah. Respectfully stop it.
Respectfully stop. No, I like him a lot. I think he's also their X factor. They need him to be able to win these games. But I also think that their biggest X factor is Goran Dragic. His playoff performance this postseason has cemented his role with the Miami Heat. I know that I don't really like him. I think he's a dirty player whenever he plays us, like whatever. But you gotta give him his dues. Like he's been their X factor. He's been their difference maker, and it's actually broke my heart to like watch this video of him on the sidelines, and he knows that he's like worked up to this moment his entire life. This is his first finals, and he's not able to play. There's nothing he can do about it, and that's heartbreaking.
Did you see the video of him in his room that he did? And he was like, his eyes were like red. It looked like he'd been crying, and he was just kind of like, he was like, I'm in so much pain right now. Like, I'm asking for help from the guy upstairs. I'm like, this is too much, man. Like, I've fully done a complete 180 on Dragic. I'm a Dragic fan now. I'm like, I'll support you. I want you to be healthy. Same. Like, I think you're funny. You're like not evil to me anymore. It's crazy.
This might change after a while, but for now, we're on a good page.
Probably when he plays.
I feel like that's been the story of the bubble, though. Like, just suddenly liking players that I otherwise despised in the regular season. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's happening a lot lately.
Yeah, totally. I mean, who are some other people that you like? Both of you have kind of turned around on.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm like, who did I not like before?
I want to put you on the spot and like tell me who you hate. Like, no,
I think one for me is probably Alex Caruso. Like, I actually see him as like a really useful role player now. Before, I thought he was just like completely overhyped. Might not be an NBA player, but it's clear he has a space in this league for himself. And also Devin Booker. Like, I feel like that run he had, I'm like, okay, this guy is like, he's like, I think the Suns are going to be like a surprise breakout team. I know we've said that for like years now, but I think it's actually going to happen this time.
I think Caruso, I'm still not sold on Caruso, mostly because I feel like I was talking to Dylan about this, and he was like, I think Caruso would be a lot less like, I think he was like, I think he's fully not committing to shaving his head. Like he's like picking his head because he wants to seem more like inconspicuous and like look weirder because of like his strange hairline. I was like, that's an interesting take. That's an interesting take.
Like, oh, balding guy dunks. Yeah.
It's like the AD brow. They just want us to like have a brand. It's the Hollywood effect.
Yeah.
It's the Lakers effect for sure. The whole brand.
Kuzma has a shoe deal.
Oh my God, Kuzma. Have you heard about the relationship? Noor, I know you probably know that Kuzma's ex is dating Tyler Hero.
I wish we had Kelsey.
Yes. I know.
Yeah, it would be good for this.
You want to get messier. Apparently, Katie's like, yeah, let's go. So Karl Anthony Towns is dating Jordan Woods.
Yeah.
Who used to go out with Devin Booker. And now Devin Booker is dating Kendall Jenner. And Karl Anthony Towns and Devin Booker are best friends.
Ooh.
Imagine these double dates. I don't think they would go on these double dates.
I don't think so.
But like, imagine
the pillow talk.
Oh my God.
Messy.
These guys love the one girl
of them on the beach, and like he looked so happy, and like he had such
like,
tragic, like I don't know. I feel like he deserves to be happy with like, oh, hi Sandy. We're just talking about player relationship drama.
My favorite thing.
Specifically, Karl Anthony Towns dating Jordan Woods now.
Yeah, they're cute. I like them.
Cute. They're cute.
Really cute.
But did you know that she used to date Devin Booker, and Devin Booker and Karl Anthony Towns are best friends, and now Devin Booker is dating Kendall Jenner? I love the
reaction.
I need to make like a chart for all these drama. They need to make some kind of reality show. I swear to God, like we would be hooked. They would have so many more women watchers afterwards.
Seriously, I mean, yeah.
We were predictable. What else do you want? Should we dive into the season? Like get into the actual talks of basketball?
Yeah, maybe we should.
Oh, we haven't done that yet. I came late.
Everybody's here.
I thought they were in the thick of things. I came late.
No. We're just working on that.
Okay, so are we gonna? Let's talk about the series.
Mm-hmm. This series. I mean, I do want to give a shout out to my best buddy Jimmy Butler, 40-point triple double, 11 rebounds, 13 assists. I don't know. I loved that game. I kind of knew. Obviously, something like that is kind of impossible to replicate again in a game. Yeah. The more like the wilder thing to me is also like none of those points came from 3-pointers. Like I don't know the last time you could say that in any game, let alone like a finals game.
I think there was like the only others were Shaquille O'Neal and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for 40 points in the finals without any 3-pointers. So that's not even including his triple double.
Yeah, and one of those is from like the 80s. Like you know what I mean? Like the game has just from where the game has evolved to now, that's just like, it's kind of unheard of.
I think it's harder to do that now than it was, in the 80s. So
definitely.
That's shout out to him for that. But you knew that the adjustment was going to happen. There was no way.
And it did.
It did. Oh,
yeah. I think they realized that you can't really put, I think they had LeBron, or was it Morris on Butler throughout the last game, throughout his 40-point game. Yeah. And I think they realized that he's too strong. Like you can't have like even players that are slightly bigger than him guarding him, because his center of balance is so good. Like he gets in the air and then he still gets his shot off and then initiates contact. Like it's crazy. So they made the adjustment we saw where they had AD on him. I think throughout I noticed it in the fourth. People say, oh, he was guarding him all game, but I noticed it in the fourth when Jimmy was so reluctant to shoot and AD was giving him so much space to kind of dare him into it. And then I think we saw that's when his style of play kind of reared its head. And yeah, like and it's weird because I feel like it was such a statement to have AD guarding Butler, because what we saw was Butler have his 40-point game, and Giannis but was not put on him in those final moments versus the Bucks. So and then afterwards you had LeBron saying, that's why he's the defensive player of the year. So we got really messy the other night.
LeBron is so petty. Oh my god,
he really is, man. But like petty,
like making narratives
right?
no
like,
one's thinking about.
Yeah, like where did that come from? Like, relax, bro.
His mind is just
court,
moving
like,
all the time.
Yeah,
he's a showman. Like,
yeah,
he's like creating his own obstacles and stuff.
Like no one even said anything about, like, AD's probably coming for the Finals MVP, so he needs to watch his back. To be honest.
And it's funny because it's so left field. Like Giannis is just he was eliminated like a month ago. He's in Athens right now.
I feel so bad whenever they take shots at him. I'm like, just leave this poor guy alone. They make it such a America versus like wherever, like
the world, yeah.
Nigeria, exactly. Like, leave him alone. Stop making him. They pick on him so easily, and it's just like, hey, he's gonna let it go just because they know he's a good guy. He's not gonna say anything. But LeBron, like, do you have to make yourself so unlikable? Like, just stop talking for 2 seconds. You're part of Clutch Sports and the Lakers. Like, you got AD on your team. You have no room to make any comments.
Yeah.
I'm going to take back what I said before, though, about LeBron not being dramatic on the court, because he absolutely is, because he did that whole thing about telling Jimmy Butler he was in trouble.
And then he walked off.
He's incredibly dramatic. He's incredibly dramatic on the court.
The walk off. I hated the walk off. I don't know. And then I felt really weird because when I looked the next day, I was like, all right, like there's got to be people freaking out about this, like I am. And the only other person was like Skip Bayless, and I was like, this is bad company.
What does that say about me? I know.
Yeah, we're the only people that were upset at it, I guess.
I don't know. I just feel
I didn't like it either.
I feel like they would have had like an honest shot if half their team didn't get injured at like the exact same.
It would have been more. It would have been a more interesting series, that's for sure. But I think that.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I think that the Lakers have been kind of holding back when it comes to adjustments. Like we saw they're still starting every game with Dwight Howard. I don't know why. I think it's just to kind of flex their flexibility to the Miami Heat. And they still have things that I could see that they could still do. Like they put AD on Butler really late. So even with the presence of Dragic, I'm not sure that it would have. I think they just would have put AD at the 5 full time, and it might not have made too much of a difference. But I think we would have definitely have gotten a way more watchable series. I think the last game was the most interesting to me. Like it was the most competitive. Like I did not know who was going to win that game. You know, even during Butler's 40-point triple-double, I had a feeling that Miami's was going to win regardless. Like it didn't feel like that the Lakers really had anything that game.
Can we talk a bit about KCP? All of a sudden, like, really good basketball. I was just like, why is he all of a sudden so clutch? Like, I don't understand what's happening.
We were kind of talking about this, like the last time when we were like, Yasmin, I know you said it. I think maybe we all did a little bit, but just like that the Lakers have made us feel like we don't know anything about basketball, or like we couldn't have like had the future sight to see this, but like maybe they somehow knew, like you're gonna have all these guys like become clutch suddenly, like in the finals. I mean, KCP, he's played for a lot of teams, so obviously he's got a lot of I think he's got a lot of experience as kind of like a road player, but like it's very weird to see him like become so clutch. But I mean, I like it. I like him as a player.
Yeah, the offense was so just in molasses, like those final I want to say the final 5 minutes. And then it felt like his layups were just like, oh my God. Like he's the one who's closing this out, just as we predicted. It was him, LeBron, and Hero that were just trading layups and baskets. So yeah, that was, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I think we saw the double-edged sword of Tyler Hero's confidence the other night, where it can be so incredibly rewarding, but also it can be very punishing. Like I see some of the shots he takes, like those 22 seconds left on the clock, on the shot clock, and he's taking pull-up threes in transition. And I'm like, I feel like that shot is like reserved for like very few players in the NBA, and he was over there pulling up from there. So
I thought he was Steph Curry for a second. Like,
yeah, and then he was closing out for them. Like he was hitting clutch mid-range shots.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I'm okay with him taking any shots, because I'm just like, you know what, he's earned it at this point. This guy's what, like he was in high school 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and he's look at the freaking stage he's on now. I know. I'm like, don't tell me about all these players who are younger than me. I don't want to hear it. I'm here like doing a Zoom call. Yeah, I know. I'm like, I'm here doing a Zoom conference at noon, and they're actually like working their bodies off and making millions of dollars. But yeah, it's so unfair.
I know.
But I'm not even sure that Tyler Hero is like a net positive on offense. Like all I know is that he'll make his presence known. I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm not sure if he's like a negative, a positive, a zero. All I know is that like I think people were calling him like a chaotic evil on the court. Yeah. I think he's like a chaotic neutral, because I don't know what he does, but I feel like it's his presence is just known on the court.
I mean, that's something I wanted to ask everybody, was like what we think are the Lakers lawful, neutral, or chaotic evil as a team.
Chaotic evil. They have all these players that randomly, like, I will not be surprised if Danny Green has like a 20-point game at this point, because it would just be so like it would just make sense.
It's like of course.
Like of course. So learn how to shoot again. Like I don't know what, like the only constants here are AD and LeBron, but even then, I don't know who's going to be the person that's going to get. Well, I guess you can assume that LeBron's going to get the Finals MVP because he's LeBron. Mm-hmm. But if he didn't have like
he has
the name and the and the tenure and everything, I honestly feel like AD would be getting Finals MVP. That's how like,
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree. But AD was so bad in Game 3. Yeah, like he was so bad. I think that it will, regardless. I think it'll come down to. If LeBron has a good game and AD has a good game, LeBron is winning Finals MVP. But I feel like if LeBron is okay, but AD has like a historic night, it might give him the edge. But I think LeBron is ahead right now. Well, also, I think the Lakers are, I'm going to call them a lawful evil, because I feel like they have two top 5 players. I feel like that's just like legally they should be here. You know what I mean?
Can you take into account that they want it to be a Cinderella story?
That's so weird.
Do you know how much that makes me angry?
That's why it's evil. They're a lawful evil.
Like
we're a Cinderella story. We've got
LeBron, like when their fans are like, we're in a playoff drought. Like we've been in this playoff drought for so long.
Oh my God.
We're overdue for a championship.
They literally have the best player in the world next to AD, and then they have the
small
audacity.
break. Yeah, they took a small break from like an era of Kobe Bryant. Like they want to make it seem like they are the Clippers who haven't been to the Eastern Conference ever, or the Western Conference ever.
Like but even for this year, they're like, oh, nobody saw us coming. Nobody saw us doing this.
You were favorites.
You have LeBron.
Yeah, everybody
you
saw
have
it,
AD. Like, what are you talking about? They want the best of both worlds, and we're not dumb. Like, as the audience, we're not stupid. We can see that you're lying to us. Like, shut up. We're the Cinderella story. You know how angry that makes me?
Before the Miami series, I said give it to, I think the game was on Wednesday. I said give it to a Wednesday. The Lakers will be the underdog, just strictly from narrative building and stuff. And they almost were, because people were like, oh, look at Miami. They went through a gauntlet in the East. They went through the Bucks, through the Celtics, through Pacers team. That was the toughest first round matchup, blah, blah, blah. And no, they're the favorites. And I honestly, I have a feeling that the Heat edge out Game 5, I want to say.
Yeah.
But I just feel like they were like so close this game. And I feel like they're going to take it personally and come out swinging. But at the same time, for LeBron, I feel like he tastes it, like it's right there. He might be just trying to close it out and get the hell out of that bubble. Like I have a feeling it's good. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. Nope, I don't think it's a blowout.
I think it's gonna be interesting because we have people like Crowder, who I don't think he's gonna lay down and let the Lakers just get the chance. Not like there's certain players like I don't see Jimmy being like, okay, yeah, we lost this, or Jay Crowder being like, oh, okay, yeah, we lost this. Like there's absolutely Iguodala. There's absolutely no way that next game is going to be like a battle. They're gonna fight as hard as they possibly can.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a game 7.
I agree.
It is an elimination game. Yeah,
I think also just like
pull it out.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say I think the Lakers are gonna pull it out, but I think Miami's gonna give it a real shot.
No, I was just gonna say like I think you're gonna have a game where like Bam's got his legs under him a little bit more than he did in this game. Hopefully, like he's getting some treatments like in the interim. I think there's something to be said for like what the Heat sort of taking this a little bit more personally. Like I almost feel like in that game 3, like obviously, the Heat really like cranked it out in the last 2 minutes, and it was like going to be hard for the Lakers to close that gap. But it was also like that they kind of just gave up, and I feel like the Heat doesn't necessarily have that in them. Like I think there's a certain expectation maybe with the Lakers, for things like when you got so many like clutch players on the team, like okay, like someone's just going to shoulder this, so I won't have to. But if they're not communicating who that is, then like nobody's going to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the next game will be like pretty scrappy.
Yeah.
Crowder and LeBron fight.
Who?
Crowder.
No, because
they're still mad at LeBron.
I don't know
mad
if
at
he's
LeBron.
gonna get in a fight, man. Like Crowder would, but I don't know if LeBron like is gonna be the.
Is gonna be
like,
the one that initiates.
Yeah,
that's
I don't
true.
think he would. He's too much of like I'm a professional. Like I'm a good sportsman and I'm a professional. Even though I walked off the court with 10 seconds.
I know.
What did you guys think of that? Him walking off the court with 10 seconds left? Because that's like a signature LeBron thing. If he loses, he's leaving the court with seconds
left. I hate it. Like I said, just me and Skip were so mad about it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I get it. I mean, like if you've lost, why you're gonna like? I get when players do that.
Yeah, I would do the same.
I'm a sore loser though. Like I don't like if I lose, what am I here for?
But the problem was like everyone else was like, "Oh, we're done," I guess. So then I was just like, then they didn't even have enough guys like to
on
get
the court.
like Jared Dudley, like bless his heart, got some minutes, I guess, or like seconds, not even minutes. But like, yeah, otherwise, like nobody. Like there wasn't enough guys left to like finish the game.
Yeah, that's true. Like
Miami.
the Lakers shouldn't be walking off with LeBron. LeBron's like the only person who has earned walking off with 10 seconds. Like why is Caruso following closely behind? Like stay on the court, fill in for him for a moment. God, it's so weird. I guess that's the thing that annoys me about them. I guess both LA teams are kind of like that. Where all the role players have kind of taken on the persona of their superstars for no reason. Like,
I feel like that
deserve anything good.
Got into LeBron in the bubble too. Like another reason why he probably wants to go home. He's like Alex Caruso just following him around at the pool. Like you can't shake Anthony Davis. Like Kyle Kuzma's like, bro, like is this cool? Like look at me. Like look what I'm doing. Like you just can't.
Look at the way I dribble, Brian. Did you like that one? Can I use it next game?
It's so funny because LeBron just treats him like a pest on the court.
Yes.
He's just, oh my God. Like I don't like to look into on court like. I think that on the court, like we can read into things that don't look like what they look like, but Kuzma is a pest to LeBron. Like the way he yells at him when he messes up, it's so mean. Like I think there was one where he fouled. Whenever he messes up on defense, like he is so mean to him, like just yelling. And I think that LeBron is yelling at the ref, and then I look and I'm like, no, on the replay, he's clearly yelling at Kuzma.
So mean.
Like I cannot deal. Like I understand holding your young players accountable. It's not that though. He's like you're messing up my moment. Get the hell out of the way.
I guess if anyone is watching and has questions, feel free to ask them. We'll answer them if we haven't yet. If no more questions about Karl-Anthony Towns' relationship, though, we've definitely covered that.
We've covered everything.
Yeah.
I actually want to ask you guys. I saw this post. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I saw this post on Twitter that was saying that it was comparing AD and Giannis currently and saying that AD is better than Giannis. What do you guys think about that?
I saw a Bucks fan that put it best that AD's like clearly having a better postseason than Giannis, but I still think Giannis is the better player. Yep. Like I think Giannis is just more. He's a better passer. He doesn't have the face-up game, but he's just so much more assertive. And like AD, I don't know if you watch him like frequently, but this guy, he has a tendency to kind of mentally take himself out of games. Yeah. And that's something I never see with Giannis. Like Giannis, you will never see Giannis have like a 15-point quiet night. But that happens sometimes with AD, even though their numbers are probably not too different. But I don't know. I just see this intensity from that Giannis. That's more of like a number one player in the league type energy.
It's also so much easier to play better when you have LeBron James on your team and he's giving you attention. Like, I feel like it doesn't make any sense to me.
If LeBron had Giannis, he'd like it would be instead of 5 game series, it would be 4 game series. Wow.
I think Giannis
every round.
Like a better all-around player at this point. You know what I mean? And like I think, he's got like a different kind of maybe tenacity and like even his conditioning. Like one thing that struck me, and like I don't know if it's just because I wasn't watching that many Lakers games this season, but like, and I don't mean this in a rude way. Like I certainly don't mean this in a way that it's going to sound like, but like, is Anthony Davis extremely fragile? And I don't mean that in like a masculine way. Like, is he?
No, I know what you mean.
Play, but like he got knocked down a lot and would just like be on the ground, like
would just stay there. Yeah. Just nap there for a little bit.
Twitter was calling him like a Nature Valley bar because he would crumble.
Good.
He like gets down and does not get up for a while, or that like I feel like he's low-key taking breathers because I think that he's a big guy who's playing big minutes right now, and he's not as mobile as some people would have you believe. You know, his like it's not even a conditioning issue. It's just he's so huge that of course he's gonna labor playing so many minutes. And that's not something you really see. Like, like we wouldn't know with Giannis because he only plays like 29 minutes a game.
So, good point.
But he's just like
I think with AD too, like he's in a position that he's not like comfortable with. Like he doesn't want to be playing the 5. Like if it's up to him, he's point guard AD, right? So I think that's part of it too. Is like he gets kind of like, especially in games where he's playing the 5, he kind of psychs himself out because he doesn't like he's not really happy playing that position. He's doing it because it's going to lead to a championship, but that's not necessarily the position he wants to be in. So I think that's part of it too. Like Giannis knows his position. He accepts it. Everybody else on the team accepts it. AD hasn't even accepted the position that he's in. That's going to help them win. So I think that's also part of the difference there.
Yeah, and I also think like if you look at them individually, you gave Giannis a team and you also gave AD a team in the past. What did each of them do with their teams? Yeah, Giannis made their team number 1, and AD had to leave his team to join with the Lakers, just buy his way out. So when you put in that perspective, like recency bias is a huge thing. You can say whatever you want, but Giannis I would take Giannis 10 times out of 10.
That's why I love the off season. I love the off season because I feel like everyone just kind of fizzles out with their beliefs, and then the regular season begins and people go back to normal with what they thought. Unless he would have to have like a historic game 5 for people to kind of rank him above Giannis consistently. Like and then you see, I don't know if AD has like I'm sure he does, but like with all the talent in the league, like will he win like a regular season MVP? I'm not sure. Alongside LeBron, will he win it anytime soon? I don't think so. And that all has like a factor into how he's ranked. So,
and I think, I mean, if we're talking about that, LeBron takes MVPs very seriously, like regularly, clearly. So there's no way if he's the other team 80s winning.
LeBron's like 37, pushing him out the way. You asked for this, AD.
The way you start a narrative about, he's not a good player and he's not a good teammate, like that would be a mess. There's no way.
One thing that has been like kind of interesting to watch though, just from like a technical like gameplay perspective, is like that the Lakers are choosing to really like capitalize on being able to have like multiple big men on the floor at one time. And I feel like for the whole like kind of most of the bubble, but definitely the postseason, like everyone went small ball, right? So it's like it's very strange to see like two big guys just like two big guys out there at the same time. And I think, you know, the Heat obviously don't have an answer for it right now. So I think they're kind of capitalizing on it. But I wonder just like as a trend, like as a playing trend piece, like if that's going to shift anything next season. I don't know.
Yeah, I gotta say, like during the last night's game when I saw AD on Jimmy and LeBron on Bam, I got really like upset because I envisioned Siakam on Jimmy and OG on Bam, and I'm like, it could have worked. We could have done the same thing.
You know,
like, don't do that to me.
Like, one thing the Lakers really have is they have like that flexibility where they can go small and do it better than you, like we saw versus the Rockets, and then they can go big and do it better than you. And we saw how they combated like the Heat like to run one of their big men with Bam sometimes, and they had an answer for that. And that's like the one thing that you need in a league where there's far more parity right now is you need like flexibility. You need to be able to go super small and super big at all times. You need to have a decent amount of wings, which the Lakers actually do. Like they have big guys that can go on your point guards, and they have wings that can match up with yours. Like they're just like kind of equipped for this, even though they don't. I think we're comparing them a lot to last year's teams and champions and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, then they look super inadequate because you had like the championship Raptors who had elite role players at every position. Sure, they don't have that, but like they have what they need. I think they've shown that they could use more shooting, and they could probably use like an actual point guard, which they can probably get over the course of the next offseason. I think that they can make peripheral changes and still compete at a high level next year. So yeah, like that's one thing they had going for them this season is that flexibility. And also Frank Vogel has been pretty impressive. I don't think people are going to look at him as like Ty Lue, where it was LeBron. Everyone thought he was like behind everything.
Yeah.
No, like Vogel has made like very timely adjustments throughout the playoffs. Like he does not wait too long. He likes to like put his imprint, make people adjust to him sometimes, and answer like pretty adequately. Like he's been pretty impressive to me.
I guess I still like Spo over him, mostly because I think there was like one where he was like mic'd up and they had him in like the huddle and he was like, the ball is a vibe, and if we chase the vibe, then we're gonna
Vogel said this?
Game. Yeah, and he's like, the vibe's gonna turn around, and I was like, what is this?
Did you hear him talk about
Los Angeles ass like coaching strategy?
Did you hear him say that Rondo gives them offensive swag?
Oh my god!
No, you didn't. Stop.
What's with the terminology?
Yeah,
it's just like
you have
like,
to chase the vibe.
Chase the
vibe.
He curates the vibe.
That's my new bio. Chase the vibe. Oh my god!
Get
vibe any more LA
instead of post. Yeah.
Like
Nurse would never.
Never.
He'd compare it to like some sort of like folk lyric he heard like 4 years ago or something.
My God.
He was talking about
whatever. Ugh.
I know. The thing with the Lakers this year, I think I said this before too. They are just proving to me that I may not know as much about basketball as I think. I did not have them where they are right now. I thought it would be the Clippers. I didn't think they had enough flower power outside of AD and LeBron. But to their credit, those guys that had to come through, they have come through, and they've put on a show. They've helped the LeBron and AD. Does it suck? Yeah. Like I don't want to see the Lakers win. I'm sorry. I'm not on the same team, but yeah, it's interesting to see what they would do next year because, like you guys said, they do need a PG. I don't, it'd be fun to see who they try to acquire. I know the Knicks are trying to shop CP3 right now, so we can see like just
perfect.
Yeah, can you imagine CP3?
That'd be really perfect for the franchise.
I don't even think you need like a big budget, like superstar caliber point guard. Like they can get like a Monty Morris, even like just someone who knows their role and who can distribute and shoot better than Rondo. Like I think that's all they need. But
I mean, Rondo's been pretty good though.
He has been, yeah.
Like, what the hell?
He's guaranteed
really
3 points, 9 assists. It's very weird.
He wants to get that record. I don't know. He would be like the second player who won a ring on the Celtics and the Lakers, I think, like the second player in history to do it. And I think he wants that very badly. That's what he's playing for.
You know what's actually hilarious? Is that we were so mad at Danny Green, but he's about to get like a ring on 3 different teams. Like, and it just cracks me up because he's not doing jack.
He's not doing anything.
God. This guy's just sailing his way.
The world makes no sense, man. It makes no sense.
I love
him
happy for Danny. Grifting his way to another championship.
Grifting his way to another ring.
Danny Green.
He's gonna get his second before his Raptors won. Like that's insane. That's nuts.
He hasn't
Waiting
got
for
the
what?
ring, bro. He hasn't even got the ring. He hasn't even been able to see the ring. He's getting another one.
I hope the Raptors just ship it to him. Like we don't need a ceremony right now.
I
Like
want to see the ceremony.
Really?
Like, I really.
I'm so over it.
I feel like Danny was so. Like I honestly feel like he wanted to be in Toronto, and he really loved the culture here.
I think that's why
he deserves. He deserves the love. He deserves the. Yeah, you didn't really do much in the finals, but we love you.
He also had like I feel like he had a perfect role in Toronto because the Lakers asked him to do so much that he can't do. But the Raptors never asked him to do more than he could, and we didn't notice his horrible games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at all. Like I don't remember him
because all it meant is that he missed shots, but now he's missing shots. He has the turnovers and stuff, and you can tell he's just kind of out of his depth because they need something from the guard position so badly.
Right,
but he's not the guy.
He
got saved with his turnovers at the Raptors. Like if he really had that one turnover against Warriors, I couldn't imagine how his legacy would have ended here. Like I don't think we would have wanted to ship him anything.
Goes to game 7 and it's over.
Oh my goodness!
But should we talk about the East next season?
Sure.
Sorry.
Oh, I just want to talk. Like I don't know. I've seen this go like this kind of talk already, and I think it's so funny. Just like who's going to be number 1 in the East next season, and just like I don't really know that it's going to be all that different than what it was this year. You know what I mean?
I mean, like we do have to consider that KD and Kyrie, if it works,
yes, that's true. It
could be very, very dangerous. But it does depend on who they decide to ship out. Like.
Yeah.
Like who are they gonna just they're like, oh, this is not working, or oh, this is we want this. I wonder how they're gonna put the team together. I'm kind of worried a little bit hearing Kyrie talk about how the team is going to be coached. Because it's not.
That was my favorite.
No, it's like a mentality. Everybody's going to be like have a different like metaphysical approach to coaching and how they want to coach themselves.
Solid gas liquid.
Some people need structure, right?
Yes.
So if Nash is going to be more of a chill, let KD and Kyrie do their thing, and the other players don't F with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I feel like the top of the East was already so competitive.
Yeah.
Like the top 5 was so competitive this year, and it's only going to be more so next year. I don't think the Sixers suck as bad as they did this year. Like even I don't see them being like the 6th seed. I think they were the 6th seed. I don't think that happens again. I think that literally every team in the top has the potential to get better. I think I don't know what happens with the Bucks, but whatever it is, they're probably going to be the number 1 seed. Whether they playoffs again, they're still there. I feel like their formula is just perfect for the regular season.
Yeah.
Giannis is probably even a little better than he even was this season, and he was MVP. I think the Raptors. It depends on what they choose to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what will happen, but I think the worst that happens is that perhaps they trade like a key player and they go to like the 5th seed, but even then they're still competing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's going to be so interesting. I feel like the top of the East is going to once again be way stronger than the top of the West. And also the Warriors are coming back. And I don't think they're going to be like the 73-9 team that people think they will be. I think the league has kind of adjusted to the style of play that the Warriors do. I think the defenses have adjusted.
I think they've all just had Nick Nurse's influence. Like now everyone knows how to defend the Warriors.
I think Nick Nurse really I feel like he spearheaded like defensive systems to catch up to the dynamic offenses of today. Like I feel like I think he follows like a line of coaches who've contributed to that, but his creativity and has really just like helped simmer down like historic offenses really well. And it's gonna be I feel like the NBA is gonna be really fun next year, and I hope they present it in a nice way. Like I don't want a bubble again. If it's gonna be a bubble again, just wait. Like I do not mind waiting a couple more months if it means fans will be in an arena.
Honestly, same. I feel like maybe that was
gonna work. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
From what I gather, apparently Adam Silver wants to have, like, even before the vaccine, he wants to have like half fans in the audience or something like that, and maybe have 2 bubbles instead of 1 bubble or something like that. I'm not too sure. So, but that means that we wouldn't be based in Toronto. We'd be based in the States for that. Then I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's it. Like no team.
Let's go to Detroit
in Canada.
Yeah, they couldn't do that here.
So all the traveling fans would have to essentially do what they do.
I mean, I had heard like Michelle Roberts talk about the idea of like regional bubbles was kind of being floated, which I didn't think was like such a bad idea, honestly.
Division bubbles, perhaps.
Yeah. I just would say like with the fan thing, that's just so tough. And like, look at like the NFL trying to do that right now. It's just like, it takes like very little for it to fall apart. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think,
and apparently like I think it was
ahead.
Adam Silver who spoke about like innovating like some sort of even quicker testing, which I don't know what that looks like. Maybe it's like a breathalyzer that tells you if you have COVID. But so they did like innovate that form of like, what was it, 30-minute testing, 15-minute testing for the bubble, which has really helped keep cases non-existent in Orlando for them. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Like there's a lot riding on it.
Like public health. I'm more in Canada than like in the States, but like if the NBA was to implement something like that, like how like glaring is it then? Like how messed up the American like public health system is, not
it's
to like
optics.
Go down this road, but like like for a huge corporation to basically be like, we'll front the money to get fans in so we can like make more money. And then we've like also invented this new test that the government could like not get behind, and we're gonna like test people and like give them results that like they also can't get there. Like that's its own maybe like nefarious like road to go down.
The optics are already terrible.
Yes.
I mean, like Trump said not to be scared of COVID. I don't think anybody in the States cares at this point. Like if they don't care that 200,000 plus people have died, I mean, they're going to find a way to make money off fans coming into an arena. Like in a couple of months, like I honestly feel like, particularly in the States, it's going to get to a point where they go about things normally.
They already have. I feel
they
like
are in so many places.
Sign a
they
waiver.
just don't even care.
Sign a waiver saying there's a potential that you might catch COVID and die. You sign it, and watch your sport.
And Godspeed.
At all. Yeah.
At this point, I feel like the only people that are going to be tested are the athletes, because they bring the money. Everybody else that's watching, you signed the waiver. You said, yes, there's a chance I might catch COVID. I'm cool with it. And you're going to go watch your sports. That's essentially what's going to happen, because I don't see them taking real precautions.
Yeah, maybe the court is like in an actual dome, like a fishbowl, like a kind of a fishbowl effect to keep the players like even safer.
Like a snow globe. Yeah.
Like a snow globe. Now we had the NBA bubble. We're gonna have the NBA snow globe now.
Just in time.
It's probably gonna be in the winter time.
Christmas. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hold the whole thing in Canada. Take it to the Arctic.
They should.
That'd be so cool. Like I'm not even joking.
Oh man, really took it down the
no.
public health road.
It's okay. It's a valid comment, though.
Talk
Valid.
about.
Okay.
That's where when we take it to the tundra, take the NBA to the tundra.
Yeah. I feel like that's it. I don't know.
Does anybody
have any questions for us?
Questions?
Would you like us to answer in a British manner?
We'll answer them in accent.
Dude, mine sucks. Mine starts British and ends Southern. Like, I literally have no friggin' idea what I'm talking about. It's so bad.
Wow, no questions today?
No questions?
Brutal. Come on.
This is so rude.
Ask us anything.
Like literally anything. You just want to answer some questions.
Well,
until 1:30.
How do you guys feel about those crazy trade scenarios for Lowry?
Which one?
Like the one.
There's so many.
Okay, let me. Yeah, we'll start out. We'll go down a rabbit hole right now. Oh, actually, no, we got a question. Never mind. Depot in free agency? Question mark.
How many guys are yeses?
I was thinking yes, but then I heard Will Lose podcast, and I'm like,
oh no,
why is he making me doubt it? I wanted it so bad.
What did he say?
I think he just like realistically spoke about like his cap hold and stuff, and it just seemed kind of unrealistic.
It's just like you kind of forfeit the big free agency the next summer.
Yeah,
I think
it's complicated then.
Yeah.
And already complicated enough in trying to pay OG Anunoby, so maybe you don't muddy it up even worse.
Yeah.
I'd love to have those people on the team.
No, that's true.
I mean, I think he would be a great culture fit. I think it would be motivating. I feel like part of the reason why you've seen a slip in his ability and in his just his court presence is motivation. I don't think he feels like the team itself can really get to a championship, and it's been clear through his comments, especially his conversation with Fat Joe, which confuses me.
So odd.
Like what? But yeah, his conversation with Fat Joe, you could tell that he really, really wants a championship, and I think having that motivation and having a team like Toronto's team, which will help him take care of his injury. I think we could see the Depot that we saw, 3 years ago. I think it's possible. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but if it is, then we have the kind of offensive usage that we need on the team. However, we would probably have to trade Fred to get him.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if you trade off a sure thing for a
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's,
I know.
It's high risk, high reward, right? Because if you go to the player he was 3 years ago.
I also think that Oladipo might be kind of a dark horse in 2021 free agency to take perhaps join an already good team on a lesser contract.
I hope
so he can win at a high level.
I hope so. Like, I really want that for him. Like, whether
if someone can give him decent money and offer him years, I feel like he's the dark horse to actually take that. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's on a weird timeline. He's already turning 29 soon, and then he has his injury history, and then he wants his ring soon. So
I feel like all the stuff like never aligned for him. Like he never got like the break and the boost he needed.
Yeah, so he might just fix it so that he can, get that ring, and join an already good, established contender. So make it a super team.
And I would probably hold out for Jamal Murray, to be honest.
That guy.
Sorry?
I don't know. So I'd probably hold out for Jamal Murray, to be honest.
We're not letting him go. We should just let that go.
Too bad I see him.
2025. He's a free agent in 2025, and we know that
the Nuggets will. There is absolutely no way they're letting that unless he gets injured.
No, Sandy, we're planning a heist.
Yeah, Nora's
Dishes and Dimes heist. Let's
2025.
Nora's playing the long game.
Heist movie.
But I mean, we have Giannis and Pascal.
Yeah.
No, but by 2025, already after what? 2 3-peats. So no,
Now it's a new era.
By then, they're old news.
I wonder, speaking of eras, I do wonder what our new era is going to be. Are we going to stick with We the North? Are we changing it up now that-
I'm a little biased. I love We the North. So we should just stick to We the North forever. I actually want to get that on a shirt. I'm waiting to find the proper manufacturer.
I'm over
That's
We
what
the North. But like
yeah, we should do We the North.
Yeah,
I feel like once 2021 hits, they should probably close the chapter on it and move into a new era. Because I feel like now, as long as Larry is a main star on the team, we're in the We the North era. Yeah. As soon as he takes like an even more secondary role, then it's
we're Africa's team.
Yeah, then we're
Giannis and Pascal. Then after Team Africa, it's Team Canada because Jamal Murray is going to be here.
Every final will be a world war. The narrative is there.
Oh, that would be crazy. I know. That would be amazing.
Oh, I love that.
They would be so mad. Oh my God.
They would be petty. Like there would be nothing holding back.
And OG, oh my gosh. The pettiness you would hear would be amazing.
We gotta keep Surge for that. We have to keep Surge for that.
Old Surge fanning the flames.
But like we're hated because our team is so good.
So I'm guessing you guys think that for next season the team should run it back
as much as possible. I think because like what other moves? There's like not to me like there's not that many attractive options out there. You don't want to like I said like forfeit your big move that everybody knows you're gonna make next summer or whatever the off season falls. Yeah. And then like I don't know, like Lowry, like I think they kind of aligned it so all the pieces just like fit into like this season and the next season. I don't know, like aside from like I think maybe I don't know. I know that it was like there might not be truth to the Gasol rumors, but I feel like that might be one of those things that's like spoken into existence, because of it. Like maybe Mark goes. You know what I mean? Like someone has to go, but I think largely it's gonna look more or less the same. I think it should. Like it doesn't hurt. 100%. Like, it doesn't like the money makes sense. Like it's fine.
And it's a good team, right? Like it's a good
you got so close in the postseason, like and you did that without anyone contributing to the offense, and that it was just Kyle. And literally, like I can't go down this road again.
But I refuse to go down the like Lowry. I won't go down.
Can't do it.
I think that they've kind of earned the right to just kind of bank on the talent and development of the core. Like the young guys who are entering their prime, I think that it's worth waiting and seeing what they become like, or just banking on them making small steps forward, which I think is totally possible. It's totally possible.
They already have. They've done so much that I don't think we have anything.
Fringe changes and growth in their game would be enough to take this team over the edge, I think.
And they will. We have the best development staff, but the best training staff. He's the Rico Hines right now. He's gonna come back looking like
so good. I've missed Pascal. I was happy.
Have you seen like video? I think it was from like today or yesterday. Like he somehow looks like bigger now. Like he looks
apparently
good.
Apparently that was an older video. Oh, that's what I heard. Yeah, that's what I saw because I retweeted it too, and I was like, "I should have done my research." But that was apparently an older video. I'm like, whatever. I retweeted it now. It's out
there. I know that. Like,
take a look.
I know.
Like, the thing about Pascal is that like he takes like I it was after the second LeBron sweep where he realized that he can't be on the court if he can't shoot. And then he like literally locked himself doing those reps in order to become like a passable shooter. So like I know that he's probably taking that loss against the Celtics so personally. I don't we're gonna see. I think he's gonna wait till I think he always waits till the superstars are available in LA in the summertime before he goes to those runs and stuff.
Yeah. The Celtics, I think, are gonna be Pascal's villain origin story.
Oh,
he's gonna come back and just be like, "Let me show you the Hulk."
And then he became the Joker.
Like, I can't wait Joker I also can't wait to see KD versus the Raptors.
Oh God, or Klay Thompson.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait.
We've made too many enemies.
Yeah.
Oh, next season's gonna be everything. It's just gonna be everything.
We have to behave ourselves. We can't interview these players in the future if we keep going like this. Because I'm not going to be able to hold back.
I know.
And then you're going to be like, oh, this isn't done when I interview Jamal, KD, and Klay Thompson. And they're going to be like, oh, these are the bitches who were talking shit about us.
Is it like it's post game? KD has dropped 50 on us, and I'm like, they're crying. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that, KD?
Why would you do that to us? Answer me.
What's your problem?
Oh, that man's gonna be so petty next season. Oh, I can't wait.
Okay, but he's gonna be like.
Question.
Oh yeah, we do. Ahead. I was just gonna say he's gonna be petty, but he's also gonna be like Galaxy Brain petty, which I'm excited for.
I love petty KD. Like he takes nothing personally. Like he's so awesome.
And take in this time, he's paired with Kyrie. Like we are in for the best entertainment of the season.
When he's like, "Oh, we don't need a coach. We need, somebody who's." I'm like,
it hasn't even started yet, and I love it.
You haven't even started the season yet. You guys are giving me entertainment.
It's a group effort to coach.
Assistant
crowdsourced coaching staff.
Oh my god!
I just want to.
He's like, who's feeling like coaching today? Who wants to coach this morning? That's how they figure out their plans. Oh, get out of here.
So we have questions.
We have a last one because time's over.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Lowry becoming an actor?
Oh,
I love it.
We go in Hollywood.
He's gonna have his Kevin
Garnett so good.
Moment.
I hope it's not as stressful. I hope it's like not as much of a stressful role as that was. Do you know what I mean? But
of what? Sorry,
because I'll take it personally.
Of any role in Uncut Gems, the film.
That movie gave me a panic attack several times. Like I just
the
pacing of the dialogue. I'm like, they're talking too fast. I can't do this.
Did you guys actually finish it? I gave up.
No, I didn't finish it.
I finished it.
I was sitting in one spot for like 10 minutes. Like, why the hell did I watch that? But
it's such an Adam Sandler movie. I'm just like, I'm really gonna sit myself through this for basketball.
I like the premise though. This one is not. This one is like. I thought it was an Adam Sandler movie, but it's actually like a LeBron production where Adam Silver was like, he was scouted to star in it. And the premise sounds hilarious. Like, I don't know if it's even a comedy, but it sounds really funny.
What is it?
Basically, apparently, like, there's an American scout who finds a young player in Spain, and he like brings him to America or something. So it sounds like it could be really funny potentially. It sounds like it could potentially be really funny, and I think I hope Kyle has like a good role. I hope it's not just a cameo, but it might be just a cameo.
It might be just a cameo.
I hope it's a good role.
But I hope he like acts, and he's not just like Lowry in a movie.
Yeah, like Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, like
I have a feeling he's probably just going to be Kyle Lowry.
I think so.
But I hope if he's Kyle Lowry, I hope he plays up like the obnoxious, like.
Oh yeah, just take it to the extreme.
Complains every time he's on the
people
screen.
Think he is. Yeah,
that would be hilarious.
That'd be the best.
Love it. Lowry, do what you got to do. We love you. Whatever you do, we're 100%.
We're making moves. At least, like they're asking the Toronto Raptors to come do stuff. Like. We're doing it. We're making it big. I like
Apparently,
it.
It was because LeBron couldn't fit him in Space Jam, so he promised to spot him on a Nextville.
I don't like that.
That's so sweet. Larry, look, everybody likes you. You're like
it's sweet, but like he should have.
Are they
close?
Fit
him into Space Jam, man.
Yeah,
I know.
Exactly. Does he realize the millions of Canadian viewers that literally would have paid for a ticket just to see Lowry?
Literally,
yes.
I don't think they take into account that people actually live in Canada. Like they never realize that like we actually have viewers here. Like we give a shit about this.
That he's like a legitimate superstar here. Like he might not be in the US. He's like top 20.
I would kiss his feet. Like we would get on our knees on the ground. I can't say the others. Stop talking to her. But like it's just, we love him. Like we would die for him, and they just don't get it. And like that's crazy to me too. Because I'm like, if other players saw the way that we treat our franchise players, like who wouldn't want to come play for us? Who wouldn't want to have 3 million people just in Toronto alone, like cheering you on?
That was like the biggest thing about the championship was that it kind of gave a stage to how insane Canadians
Yeah.
could be in a good way. Like if you want someone to just kind of bolster your legacy and help you kind of ascend, like the thing is, Kawhi he was a star. He was an all-star. He was a all NBA caliber player, but he ascended to like superstar status that season with that full season with the Raptors and the championship and all. So yeah, like if you want to make that next step, come to Canada.
Jamal, come home. Yeah. It's We the Canada. We the Kitchener.
What was the last question?
Oh boy.
Is that?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I think that's
I think that's it.
We're just over
All
an
right.
hour.
Yeah. That's good. I didn't think we'd have that much to talk about, but check it out.
By the way,
our last
we've become experts at like because of that long hiatus of just
I
talking
know.
about something
Yep.
very well.
Everyone asks me, they're like, so what do you guys do in the off season? Like, what do you even talk about? And I'm like,
same
don't
thing.
even
Don't
question.
figure it out.
Don't even
No.
worry about that. We will come to you with content.
We'll make an episode out of like a single tweet. Like we got this.
Like we literally just talked.
The
15
beauty
minutes
of being
about
women.
Kyrie.
All right. We can
Yep.
talk about anything.
All right, everyone.
Is this our
Thank
last?
you for
Thank you.
tuning in to Hoop Talks.
I think
Is this
we
the
are
last
gonna
episode?
have- I think we're gonna have one potentially next week. I mean, depending how the finals go and what happens, and maybe
would
any
be nice.
news.
Just
Yeah.
to kind of review the
Mhm.
season and everything.
Just like a farewell, a fond farewell.
And
all
au
right. Thank
revoir.
you, everyone, for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. I have to
See
get
you,
back to work.
ladies.
Bye.